kidnapped 8-year-old girl is forced to call dad on Father's Day.
Hello, Irv speaking.
Hello, Dad?
Yes, Bethy. Are you okay?
The phone call you're about to hear is 8-year-old Beth Stauffer, who was kidnapped with her mother Mary. On June 15, 1980, at 10:14 p.m., the kidnapper allowed Beth to call her dad on Father's Day. The FBI recorded it.
Yeah.
Is Mommy okay?
Yes.
That's good.
Daddy?
Yes?
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you so much, sweetie.
We can't talk anymore.
When can you come home?
I don't know.
Can I talk?
Talk to me, okay, Dad?
Can I talk to him?
No.
Mary Stauffer, 36. Beth Stauffer, her 8-year-old daughter. Kidnapped, chained.
Captor takes his 9th grade teacher and her 8-year-old daughter and kidnaps them in hopes that she will fall in love with him.
Mary Stauffer, 36. Beth Stauffer, her 8-year-old daughter. Kidnapped, chained, abused for 53 days. But they escaped, and Ming Sin Chu was arrested the same day. During the trial, he attacked Mary, leaving a scar on her face. He even hired a hitman to kill her, but she survived and made sure Ming would never terrorize anyone again.
He had 53 days of our lives. He doesn't get another day.
In the small town of Roseville, Minnesota, Mary lives with her husband, Irv, and their 2 children, Steve and sweet little Beth. The house is packed because the family is moving to the Philippines. It's May 16th, 1980. Mary takes Beth for one last errand before the big day.
When Beth got home from school, I said, come on, let's go and get your hair cut so we look nice.
As the hours go by with no news from them, Mary's husband Irv and their 6-year-old son, Steve, are getting more and more worried at home.
What's happening? Where are Mary and Beth? Why haven't they come home yet?
Mom's not the kind to run away. Mom loves me. Mom loves Dad. Mom loves my sister. There hasn't been any arguments.
Around town, the police are searching for a child named Jason, who was kidnapped that very same day.
Little boy kidnapped.
Jason, playing in a park, never came back.
Terrifying story.
But they have no idea that Mary and Beth are missing. It's nighttime. Irv finally decides to call the police. That's when he learns about the missing boy, who was abducted by a dark-haired man.
The man on FBI's most wanted list. This remains an extremely active scene.
Irv fears the worst for his wife and daughter. The search goes national. Roadblocks, ground team, air support. They find Mary's car left in a ditch, but no trace of the missing kids or Mary. Irv is frantic, and as the days pass, his hopes of seeing his family alive are growing thin. It's June 15, 1980. It's Father's Day, and Irv is at home with his son Steve, but still no news of Mary or Beth. It's been 30 days since their abduction. That's when the phone rings.
Hello, Irv speaking.
Hello, Dad?
Yes, Bethy. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Is Mommy okay?
Yes.
That's good.
Daddy?
Yes?
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you so much, sweetie.
We're fine, Dad.
Oh, I'm so glad.
We can't talk anymore.
When can you come home?
I don't know.
Can I
Talk
talk?
to me, okay, Dad?
Can I talk to him?
No.
Okay, you call again.
See you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Everyone loves Eddie Munson from Stranger Things so much, but did you know that he was based on a real person / true crime case? The Duffer Brothers confirmed that Eddie was based off of Damien Eccles, one of the West Memphis Three who were accused of the 1993 murders of 3 8-year-old boys in West Memphis, Arkansas. The bodies of Steve Branch, Christopher Byers, and Michael Moore were found in a ditch on May 6, 1993. And not long after, then 18-year-old Damien and 2 of his friends, 16-year-old Jason Baldwin and 17-year-old Jesse Miskelly, were arrested and accused of the murders. They were all metalheads and labeled outcasts, much like Eddie, and the trial heavily focused on Damien's interest in paganism. And the satanic panic at the time was a huge element of the case. Jason and Jesse were sentenced to life in prison, while Damien was sentenced to death by lethal injection. But after new DNA evidence and technology was introduced in 2007, people started questioning whether or not the 3 men were actually guilty. After years of battling, in 2011, a new judge re-examined the case and a new trial was brought, where Damien and the other two men entered an Alford plea, which basically meant they were still technically guilty despite maintaining their innocence. The new judge vacated their previous convictions, and they were sentenced to time served, which was 18 years. All three of them were then immediately released. After being released from prison, Damien actually lived in Peter Jackson's apartment in New York City. Peter is the director, writer, and producer of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Together, they produced a movie called West of Memphis, which highlights the case. Damien has also published multiple books. The Duffer Brothers said they really wanted to hone in on the satanic panic in Stranger Things 4. Describing the character of Eddie, they said, quote, "What's sad about his narrative is that the people who get to know him really love him, and the people who don't have judged him horribly, just because of the way he dresses and because of his interests," end quote.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid actor Ryan Grantham pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in March, and more disturbing details about this case were just released. If you don't know who Ryan Grantham is, he's known for his roles in Liz, Becoming Redwood, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and most recently he was in the show Riverdale. On March 31st, 2020, the 24-year-old fatally shot his mother in the back of the head as she played piano. Apparently Ryan recorded himself beforehand rehearsing the murder, literally acting it out. Hours later, he recorded his mother's body and confessed, and this is now being used in court. The next day, Ryan packed his car with several guns, ammo, 12 Molotov cocktails, camping gear, and a map. That map was supposed to lead him to Canada's Prime Minister, whom he planned on killing as well. The trip would have taken 50 hours, but at some point Ryan turned around, and then planned to target his college university or somewhere else like that. Fortunately, Ryan turned himself in to Vancouver police before he could hurt anyone else. Reports stated that in the months leading up to this, he was experiencing the urge to commit violence to others and to himself. He had also stopped attending university and suffered intense clinical depression. It's believed that Ryan took his mother's life because he didn't want her to see him carry out the mass murder plans. The Crown is asking for at least 17 to 18 years before he'll be eligible for parole. And his sister told the court that he is a dangerous person and she fears him getting out of prison.
A man killed 3 of his children and dumped their bodies in a fridge. And when asked his reason for doing this, you would not believe the reason he gave. This 52-year-old man, who has been identified as Ifeanyi Amadikwa, he murdered 3 of his children. One of them is actually his stepdaughter, and then the other 2 were his biological children. The children's names, who are all girls, are Chidalum, who is 11 years old, and that is Ifeanyi's stepdaughter, Amarachi, who is 8 years old, and Ebubechukwu, who is just 4 years old. This horrifying incident happened on the 4th of January 2022 at Nkubo Road, Emene, Enugu. It was said that Ifeanyi's wife and mother to the 3 kids who were murdered had left their home to the market with her only male child. According to the mother of the children, when she returned back from the market later in the evening, she could not find her daughters anywhere, which was very strange because they always came to welcome their mother whenever she came back from somewhere. So she started looking for them everywhere. Her attention was then drawn to the fridge which her husband had brought from his place of work. Apparently, Ifeanyi owned an electrical repair shop, so he had brought back a fridge, a non-working fridge from his shop, and he had put that in the veranda of their apartment. So our attention was drawn to that fridge. When she opened the fridge, she was met with the most horrifying sight of the lifeless body of her 3 children stuffed in the fridge. As expected, she raised alarm, which attracted the attention of people around, the neighbors. The girls were quickly rushed to the hospital where they were confirmed dead. Now, the crazy thing about this whole story is that Ifeanyi, their father, did not flee after doing this. Okay, he was present when the wife found the kids in the fridge, and he was also there when the kids were taken to the hospital. He was under the pretense or guise that he had left the kids alone for a while. He went out to get something, and then when he returned, he also could not find the kids. So that was the story he was selling. The mother of the girls was quick to point a finger to Ifeanyi, accusing him of killing her girls. She also claimed that he must have been planning it for a while now because he had brought back a non-working fridge from his shop 2 days ago, and When she had asked him why he brought the fridge back, he told her that she would soon find out the reason he did it. So apparently this was his reason. Maybe he planned to murder his 3 kids and then put them inside the fridge. And according to the kids' mother, she said that the father always had this hatred towards the girls for some reason. She was very quick to point the finger at him. It was soon said that the police arrived and they apprehended Ifeanyi and took him in for questioning. And while questioning Ifeanyi, he still maintained that he had left the kids alone and he did not know what happened to them. Probably locked themselves inside the fridge and maybe had suffocated. That might have been the cause of their deaths. But it was soon discovered that the kids were actually poisoned. That was when the police intensified their questioning. It was said that they tortured Ifeanyi a bit and eventually he confessed. He said that he had killed the girls, he had poisoned them, and when asked his reason for doing so, he gave the most shocking, horrifying reason ever. He said that he was tired of taking care of them, that they were becoming a burden. So that's why he had to end their lives. I would like to believe that Ifeanyi might have received a sentence, maybe life imprisonment, or he might be sentenced to death by hanging. I really don't know what happened. Some people are of the impression that he might have done this for ritual purposes. We really don't know. Do you think he had been planning this for a while? Because according to his wife, he had gotten the fridge, and when she asked him about it, he told her that she would soon find out his reason. So do you think this was the reason? I just feel like this story leaves a lot of questions unanswered, because what really happened, I personally think there's more to this story, because it just doesn't make sense for a father to wake up one morning and decide to kill all 3 of his kids. The story just doesn't add up. I just wish the police had carried out more investigation into this case, because I feel like there's something more to this story. What do you guys think about this story? Do you think he did this for ritual reasons, or do you think there's some other hidden truth behind the story? Leave me your thoughts in the comment section.